Mark, congratulations on a really good result. Can you sum up your levels of satisfaction with the performance first of all?
Yeah, satisfied with the performance. Obviously, I think there were areas where we could have been better. Like I said, I thought the front three, in terms of their starting positions, weren't the best. We worked a lot on if they played with a back three, which they did tonight, or if they went to a back four, like they did against the Mariners. So we knew over the last 2 weeks, or the last 2 games, they played 2 different formations against Victory and the Mariners. So I wasn't really happy with that because I thought they were able to pick out passes and break our first line quite easily. That's fixable, and we have to work on that. But again, because I tweaked the formation somewhat, I guess I expected that at times, not all the time. But overall, particularly in the second half, when we decided to play a bit more on the counter-attack, knowing that we had that 1-goal lead and then they had to come at us and take some risks, there were certain positions that I wanted players to occupy when we weren't in possession, particularly when we were defending on the edge of the 18 or whatever, and we picked them out left, right and centre. I mean, you do your homework, you look at the amount of bodies they get forward, and you find spaces and areas, and I thought we were really good with our first pass. That was always important on the counter, and we were just ripping the shreds, absolutely ripping the shreds in the second half. And you look at the 20 shots, 8 to 1 I think it was on target as well. We could have had a lot more tonight, but I can't be too greedy.
Can you talk about David Williams' impact tonight, particularly with Roy Krishna not there?
Yeah, again, he's another one that we've challenged all year. Really proud of him. You know, I think one thing that he lacked throughout his career was consistency, and the first conversation that I had with him was about being consistent. And don't forget, he wasn't a starting member at the start. You know, he missed some game time, but he fought his way back. And again, that's credit to him as a person and as a footballer as well. His attitude is superb. You know, he's one of the real strong leaders at this football club. Terrific individual, terrific human being. Really, really proud. Well, I think we all are about what Willow's been able to achieve this season, and there's more to come. And that's the scary thing about it. And when you see him score that 3rd goal, I mean, we've seen that throughout the season. You know, he works ever so hard. He's someone that wants to improve, even at his age. He's looking to get better and improve. And that's again, the environment that we've created and the culture that we've got at this football club, where you're always striving to be better, you know, and they want to be better every day. So superb, you know, well deserved. You know, I had to take, I guess, a lot of the pressure on his shoulders tonight, knowing that his main man or partner in crime was out, and he stood up, didn't he? He stood up.
Can you just update us on Louis? Has he broken his foot?
Our understanding, Crumpy, our physio, believes it could be a fracture. Really unfortunate if that's the case, and we're all, you know, until we actually get the exact the X-rays back and we find out what's going on, it's a huge loss for this football club, particularly for someone like Louis Fenton, who has come from absolutely nowhere to perform and be, I believe, the form fullback in the competition. Another superb human being, you know, and he's worked ever so hard to get to this stage. But knowing Louis, I wouldn't discount him. I think the kid would play with a broken foot for this football club, and I say that because I believe that he will do whatever it takes to get himself back into this team.
Just one more from me. It's about the young kids. You introduced Ben Wayne tonight.
Yep.
Quite happy to put Callum Elliott on for a half in an unfamiliar position for Gianni Stenson is there. In fact, you had 5 under 21 in the matchday squad today.
Thanks for reminding me, Piney. Yep.
Look, I do my research.
You do, yes, you do, Jason.
But can you just talk about how, I mean, not every coach does that. Mm-hmm. What gives you the confidence that these kids are ready? Because they aren't just kids, some of them.
Yeah, and you never know when they are ready. But we work extremely hard with them, and they've been with us from day one. And you look around, you have a look at all the young kids, you know, and you know, young Sinclair was around, and Justin Gully as well. They're all there in pre-season. You know, some of them just didn't quite make it in terms of getting there and getting a place or a contract, but there's so many good ones. There are so many good ones, and you're right. I mean, if you look at the history and, you know, the 5 or 6 years at Sydney United, you know, I was playing young kids non-stop. You know, I was given 15-year-olds debuts in the first team, and for me, you never really know when they can, but I do know in the A-League historically a lot of coaches, and there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure to get results week in, week out. But I believe in them. I really believe that you know, they have certain skill sets, and a lot of them just need a coach or a staff, coaching staff, to believe in them as well. That's what they yearn for. You know, every message matters to the young players. They soak it all in. They're like sponges. And so he was another one that's waited. But like I said, historically, if you're not making the finals, if you've got nothing to play for, we've seen it again this year. Brisbane are doing it, the Mariners, even the Wanderers are throwing all the young kids when maybe their season's done and dusted. That's not how I operate. It doesn't bother me whether you're Andrew Durante or whether you're Callum Elliott or Ben Waine. For me, it's purely about performance and giving them that belief that they are good at what they do. Because you know they're fearless. These young kids are fearless. You know, they run through brick walls for you. And they've got superb attitudes, the kids. I mean, you know, Kiwis in general are just really good people. And they're an absolute pleasure to work with. Like I said, there's no egos about them. And we tell them to leave it at the front door anyway with the players when they walk into our football club. But they're just an absolute pleasure to play with. And the one that I also want to mention was Ryan Lowry. You know, he's another one last year that had an extremely tough season. You know, and you know, he's one that's been in the squad quite often, and he's had to be patient and wait, and he has never let us down. You know, he's full credit to him and as an individual, the attitude that he's got. He just gives absolutely everything of himself every single day, and And I knew he wouldn't let us down. And like I said, Copper and Stevie Taylor, that's the sort of competition we got. I mean, these guys are first 11 players, but he's come in and he's put his hand up, and I was kind of disappointed because he could have had a goal as well from the set piece, you know. But played 95 minutes, you know. And again, you know, the credit goes to our medical staff and obviously Ado, our physio, who's done a superb job with his team as well. You know, he works ever so hard. Him and Crumpy are a special combination. So, like I said, there's a big staff around us, Greenie and Goff. Everyone works really hard at this club. I'm really proud of all of them, because only then do you get the results like this, where you've got someone like Ryan Lowry starting for the first time in such a long time because of all the work. You're only ready when you're prepared, and the staff prepares every individual superbly.
It was obviously the right decision in the end, but what swung the decision to have Sapri and Nix over Killian?
It wasn't easy, Phil. It wasn't easy. I mean, Killian is another one that was, and we worked on different formations throughout the week. We've had a couple of weeks to work on a couple of different things. I just think when I looked at Newcastle and I looked at their back three in particular, you know, they've got some tall timber there. They don't like entering into those little zones, you know, 5 to 10 metres in front of them. I know as a big tall timber defender, I never used to like to go into there. So I thought with someone like Max, who's got great feet, and Sapri, who like to work into those pockets, that we'd be able to find some areas where they can, you know, get in the half turn and go at teams and go at them in particular. So, and Willow, you know, again, it was a little bit different in that front third. We normally have those two up front, but I just wanted him to stay in between a lot of the times and be central. And the first goal was a byproduct of what we've been working on anyway. So I guess that's what swayed it when I looked at the opposition, and I thought, okay, I think we could find some results there on a positive note. But here I am giving a lot of credit to people. Killian, you know, could have easily put his head down and could have had an attitude, but he's not like that. He's as a smashing guy who's just walked straight into this cultural environment, you know, loved amongst the players, and he's really fit into our team. And he's come on and he's done a job as well. You know, he's come on and he looked quite dangerous, and I guess the last message was get one, because he's been very unselfish every time he's come on. You know, he's always looking to set somebody else up. You know, and I really wanted him to get one for himself.
Yeah, and obviously now there's two strikers and double figures. So do you think you've got the best strike force in the competition?
Yes, I do. Absolutely. And I guess we challenged him at the start of the season. There was a good conversation with Roy as well, where from afar I loved his skill sets. You know, I just thought he'd be a menace, hard to defend and hard to work with. But another one that was very inconsistent. Play one good game, and then you'd go missing for 3 games. And so he worked extremely hard on Roy as well. But without a shadow of a doubt, we have the best striking combination in the league. I mean, we're third top goal scorers in the league as well before this one. I could be wrong if that's improved to second, maybe not. But the progression and the improvement and the way we've evolved as a football team, if you cast your way back to Bentley Greens, when I guess all you punters thought you knew exactly what we were going to play and how we were going to play, and everyone's got an opinion and everyone's probably negative about it. but we stayed true to the progression and the development, and I think now you're seeing just reward of the kind of game that I like to coach and the kind of game that I like to play as well. We're a very dynamic side. We've got some fantastic footballers technically as well. We move the ball around, we shift opposition teams around. When they're playing like that and when they're on song, they're an absolute joy to behold. And tonight, there was big grins on all the faces with the staff. We just turned around to each other and we were almost unplayable in that second half. It was fantastic.
How do you get Roy back into this team? Because I guess one player's going to have to miss out in the next game.
Yeah, it's not something that I'm going to be thinking about right now. I keep telling the players as well, enjoy the good moments. And there are a lot of, in a footballer's career, there are a lot of, I guess, negative moments, more so than the positive ones. And Big H at the back will tell you the same thing. I think it's really important just to reflect and enjoy and be in the moment. And that's what I'll be saying to the boys tonight, enjoy it, because we've got a couple of days now to rest and recover, and it's back in there again. I think it's important in sport anyway that you just relax and you reflect and enjoy.
Yeah, and the last one from me, you mentioned before about Taylor and Copper. How close were they to playing this game? Because we haven't seen Taylor.
Yeah, close. Look, Tails is one that we're not going to take any risks on. We need to be 100% sure, with Tails, and with finals footballs looming, you're going to need your big players and experienced players, and he's a guy that's got a huge amount of presence about him as well. So we've got to be sure about him. Copper was very close, but another one that, knowing what Copper's like, we erred on the side of caution. Again, it could have been easy to force him to play, because he could have played if he wanted to, but that's how much trust we've got in our players when someone like Ryan Lowry just steps in and plays phenomenally.
Yeah, sorry, so it was...
that was your last one, Phil?
Yeah, we've got another one that's coming.
No, there's no more. It's not on your phone either, so I can't answer if it's not written on your phone.
Where I write my questions,
Right, okay.
I was just going to say, so Taylor, was that a reoccurrence of his calf injury, and what ruled Copper out?
No, it was just like I said, we've got to be sure with Tails. Tails picked up a calf against Victory, and we've got to be 100% sure. I don't take risks. As much as these boys want to play and probably put their hand up and whatever, I've got a medical staff that knows what they're doing. So you've just got to be sure and safe with all of them.
Just a quick comment, Matt.
Yep.
15 goals in the last 3 games, you've got one more home match. What's the difference in approach to keep that scoring when you go play away? Is there any change?
No, there shouldn't be. It's the way we've evolved now as a football team, and we're flying high in confidence and belief, and nothing changes for us. We continue to do the same things that have made us successful. When we scored 8 goals away from home, we've scored now 7 goals at home. If there's anything that I'd like to challenge, it'd be the Wellington faithful to come out and support this team. I think if there's anything that we need to improve a little bit more, is that you're witnessing a fantastic football team. Come and see it live. There's nothing like it. And they need you, they want you. And I thought tonight they were loud. 9,000 there. Imagine I'd love to get 15,000. There's a challenge for the Wellingtonians out there. Come out, we've got one more game in the regular season against Melbourne City. There are no guarantees. We'll do our darndest over the next couple of weeks when we're away from home to do the right thing by this football club and the city as well, and New Zealand. But I'd love for them to come out. I really would. It's a call cry, for them to come out and support these guys, because they've, since day one, they have given absolutely everything to this football club, everything, and it'd be lovely to see, a huge support against Melbourne City in a few weeks' time. That's one thing that I'd love. But in terms of your question, nothing changes. Our mentality stays the same.
And just all the focus is on your strike force at the moment, but Curto in goal today made a couple of sharp saves.
Yeah, you conceded one as well. He did make some saves, and he's been doing that all season. But like I said, he's not happy, and I love that about him. The first thing he said was, I said, yeah, you conceded another one, right? And he said, I know, boss, I'm not happy about that either. But I'll keep saying it. Philip's a fantastic goalkeeper, but that's his job. He's paid to stop and make saves and stop the ball from going into the back of the net. There's a reason why, we as a staff decided to bring Philip Curto in. And again, give Paul Goffey a lot of credit. He's worked extremely hard with the goalkeepers. He's been phenomenal. The way he's turned Courtois, who hasn't played a lot of football last year, you know, we scoured the world and looking for the right foreign players, you know, as people and as players, and it would be very easy for us to dismiss someone like Philippe Courtois, who didn't play a lot of games, but we saw something special in him. And Paul Gothard's got a great eye for talent.
I know you don't like talking about next season, but it must be, you'd be obviously one of the on the top of the list.
Yeah, I won't be making comment on that,
Yeah.
but thank you anyway. It was a good try.